money-saving expert Martin Lewis is calling on the government to scrap or change their planned £200 energy levy.
Yes, the plans will see every electricity bill in England, Scotland and Wales reduced by £200 in October.
Then, from April 2023, all electricity bills will automatically increase by £40 a year for the next 5 years to pay it back.
However, a new poll by MoneySavingExpert and Govt has found that more than half of bill payers would opt out of this scheme if they could.
Well, Martin joins us now. Martin, thanks for coming in this morning. I know you've been drilling down into this ever since you spoke to Rishi Sunak, which was just over a week ago, I think. And it's interesting, isn't it, that actually what you're coming back with is they need to scrap it.
Well, and they need to scrap it for a very simple reason. 57% of people would opt out of this if they could. Only 26% of people would opt in. Now, I said as soon as this was launched with my instant analysis that this is a scheme where the Chancellor is taking a gamble. He's taking a gamble that next April energy bills will drop. We know that this April they're going up 54%. It is likely that in October they will rise again by another 20%. And then the hope is, and the market predictions, which the Chancellor has based his predictions on, next April, April 2023, they'll start to drop. That is very far from certain. And if we saw a continued escalation of the problems in Russia and Ukraine, they could get worse. And what, of course, the Chancellor's hoping is you take £200 off bills in October, you add £40 on bills in April when they've dropped and people won't feel it. But of course, if he's wrong, if they don't drop or don't drop substantially, then you have higher bills and you had an extra £40 levy on top. You've got a total lose-lose situation. And whatever position we're in October, we're likely to see bills being double where they are right now. So when you take all of that into account, the fact that Chancellor is making this gamble with people's personal finances, and people don't want that gamble to be made. There's no net gain here. There's £200 taken off bills. There's £40 a year for 5 years added on bills. That's 200 and 200. With no net gain, with it just being a cash flow move, with the vast majority of people saying they wouldn't want it, then it seems to me it is wrong of the Chancellor to take a gamble with people's finances that they don't want when there is no net gain. So what he should do is introduce an opt-out clause. But unfortunately, I doubt it is technically possible to see an opt-out scheme set up by October. That is a much bigger piece of admin than what they're planning to do.
You put that to him, though, didn't you, Martin? When you interviewed him, you put that to him. You said, what happens if people don't want to take that loan? And he said, we can't individually bespoke a service for people around the country. It'd be too complicated.
Well, yeah, look, I mean, let's be plain. This looks like a loan. It feels like a loan. This is not a loan. This scheme is not a loan. People have to understand that. It's not regulated by the FCA. It doesn't go on your credit file. You cannot opt out. You have no choice. It is, in fact, just a levy on energy bills. First, a negative levy. We already have levies. You already, on your energy bill, part of it is already made up of the green levy, where we all pay more for green infrastructure. And this is the same. And there are some weird facts that happen because of it. So let's take somebody who's living in the hall of residence at university right now, doesn't have an energy bill. They graduate next July. Well, this October, they won't get the £200. Next April, nothing happens. They don't have a bill. The following April, they have their first energy bill. It will be £40 higher, even though they didn't get the £200. Take 4 people who live in a house share. 4 people live in a house share right now. They get a £200 discount in October. They all decide to go their separate ways and get their own places come next January, February. Next April, they will all have £40 added to their bill, and that will continue for 5 years. So they will have a £200 discount, and they will get £800 in total between the 4 of them added back. It can work the other way too. 2 people who live apart right now both get a £200 discount. If they meet and fall in love before next April and move in together, well, then they only have £40 added to their bill a year. So they only get £200 paid back. It's not a loan. It's not related to an individual. It's simply all bills go down £200 in October, and then all bills go up £200 over the following 5 years. So there are a lot of quirks in this system. It had to be done like that to do it quickly. And the big point, Chancellor, if you are listening, people don't want this. They don't want you to take a gamble so that they have it cheaper now, but risk paying more when bills could still be high later.
Okay,
Please
but
rethink the scheme. It isn't helping people.
Martin, I suppose it was aimed to ease the pinch point that's coming our way in this current crisis. If this isn't it and people don't want it, what is?
Well, the most obvious thing to do would be to take the £200 and pay it out of general taxation.
Right.
Simple as that. I mean, let's just be plain on this. When we did this polling, and this is statistically representative polling, the findings show that in every single category of age and income, including those receiving benefits, the majority of people, if they had the choice, would opt out of having £200 taken off their bill in October and then £40 a year added on top of their bills. There is no net gain to people from this. You have £200 taken off and you have £40 added on for 5 years, which is £200 in total. It is just a cash flow move.
Right.
People, of course, would like £200 taken off their bills, but they don't want to do that if the cost of is having it added back later when bills we don't know, may be even higher. It was an attempt by the Chancellor to smooth things out. People don't want it. Let's not force people into taking this when they don't want it. The Chancellor, you were trying. This one doesn't work. I don't believe in berating politicians when they try something and then find out, no, people don't want it, and do a U-turn because people don't want it, and let's come up with something else.
Well, wouldn't that be brilliant if you could be agile and move like that, Martin? Because I think clearly some of the examples you've given, and you're speaking from such an informed perspective, it would be great to think that he could actually listen and hear and try and make a change.
And I need to tell you, Ben, I've been, even just by being a person who explains how this works, the number of people on social media of all different ages and demographics who vociferously do not want this. Yeah. I mean, what a groundswelling there is. And I just think didn't quite get it right. Let them try on urgent situations to try something. Let's put our hands up and say, he tried something. It wasn't right. Time for a change, Chancellor, please.
OK, Martin, thanks for joining us this morning. It's good to have you on us.